You know that one person who refuses to do any activity that requires above minimal effort to complete? They insist on keeping the couch warm and the fridge empty for the greater part of their existence. Or the one whose general pessimism and overactive emotions are key features of their personality. Let's be honest, sometimes it gets cloudy identifying depression from straight-up laziness or a transient existential crisis. Let's take a look at these three mental states. Sadness. Failing an exam, the death of a loved one, loss of a job, or the ending of a relationship. These are difficult experiences for a person to endure. Feeling sad is a natural reaction to situations that cause emotional upset or pain. There are varying degrees of sadness, but like other emotions, sadness is temporary and fades with time. A person experiencing sadness can usually find some relief from crying, venting, or simply talking out frustrations. Laziness. Laziness is the quality of being unwilling to work or use energy despite having the ability to. It may reflect a lack of self-esteem, a lack of positive recognition by others, a lack of discipline, or a lack of interest in the activity. Even more so, a lack of real purpose. If a person doesn't have any goals, they won't be motivated to do anything. Also, it may be a fear of success, and laziness is one way in which they can sabotage themselves. They may turn to laziness when they feel particularly fearful in their day-to-day life. Maybe they're afraid of not fulfilling their goals, being unable to live up to expectations. All that fear becomes overwhelming, leading to laziness, which can manifest as procrastination or vacillation, otherwise known as being indecisive. To be fair, laziness seems like a natural inclination at times. Taking the occasional lazy day is more than alright. In fact, it's encouraged. Some lazy days are well-deserved and are necessary to prevent burnout. But if you find that you're taking lazy days more often than not, or you're having trouble getting things done, it could be a sign that something's wrong. Depression. Depression is a medical illness that negatively affects how you feel, the way you think, and how you act. It can lead to a variety of emotional and physical problems and can impair your ability to function at work, at home, in your social life, and other areas of functioning. The term depressed is often misused and is often self-reported as a feeling, as in, I feel depressed. Clinical depression, however, can only be diagnosed by a mental health professional who can assess symptoms and recommend appropriate treatment. Depression is a mental illness, not an emotion. Behind depression is extreme fatigue, loss of willpower, known as avolition, irritability, restlessness, or agitation. In addition, one experiences a loss of enjoyment in activities that were once pleasurable, known as Anhedonia, unwarranted or exaggerated feelings of guilt or worthlessness, changes in one's sleep pattern, either sleeping too much or too little, and changes in appetite, with associated loss or gain in weight. There is also great difficulty thinking, concentrating, or making decisions, and at its worst, suicidal ideations. Doctors may diagnose depression in patients who experience any 5 of these symptoms lasting for at least 2 weeks and representing a change in previous levels of functioning. Feeling sad and lazy are integral parts of depression, but not the entire story. On the surface, they might seem quite similar. However, there are key differences among them. Knowing and understanding the differences can help a person recognize when to seek treatment. Sadness is a specific reaction. It is usually caused by a particularly unpleasant experience, and it is a normal and healthy emotion. Depression, on the other hand, is an abnormal general state which occurs without any apparent reason. Sadness is brief. Emotions are momentary conscious experiences. They fade with time. If an emotion continues during a phase in life, it does so in lapses. Depression is characterized by persistently negative feelings. During depression, your symptoms don't only occur when thinking of a certain event or person. They are present within nearly every situation. It persists for most of your day for at least 2 weeks. With sadness and grief, self-esteem is usually maintained. In major depression, feelings of worthlessness and self-loathing are common. Laziness, put simply, is a choice. When a person is being lazy, they are choosing not to do things. A lazy person wouldn't mind having a clean apartment if it meant someone else would put out the energy to clean it. On the other hand, people who suffer with depression hardly even notice their apartment is messy. The last thing they are thinking or worrying about is the cleanliness of the apartment or themselves. There is a fundamental change in their perception and attitude toward life. Depression is not a choice. It is completely out of their control. People who experience clinical depression don't want to feel that way. In major depression, thoughts are focused on ending one's life due to feeling worthless or undeserving of living, or being unable to cope with the pain of depression. Suicidal thoughts are a sign of depression, not sadness. So, if you or anyone you know are experiencing symptoms consistent with depression, please don't dismiss them as being a couch potato or sad Sally. They may be struggling with clinical depression and would benefit from seeking professional help. Remember, only a professional can diagnose depression or other mental health disorders.